On Tuesday, we will find out if Indiana's longest-serving U.S. Senator ever will have the chance to defend his seat in the fall. As we've been reporting, Richard Lugar is trying to fend off a stiff primary challenge from Lugar Mourdock. As you prepare to cast your vote, we continue to help you get to know both these men better as they talk about the campaign, each other, and their political role models. Who is your political role model?
I was very excited to have the opportunity to serve in the Senate during the 8 years of Ronald Reagan's presidency. And my record indicates that of all the 100 senators, I had the record of the greatest percentage of support for Ronald Reagan throughout that period of time. And it was not by chance. I felt he had both the vision as well as the personality to make a large difference in important reforms in our country as well as important foreign policy decisions. So I cite him.
In the recent past, it was Ronald Reagan gave that message as to what conservatism's about. During 8 years, not a single day did he ever have the Democrats not in control of the House or the Senate, and yet he got a lot done because he would frequently go around them and make his message to everyday Americans. He sold them on his ideas, and those Americans sold to Congress on the ideas.
If there's one thing about Senator Lugar that most gives you pause for concern out of everything that's been covered this election, what would it be?
Well, I certainly have respect for Mr. Lugar. I voted for him many times myself. But the truth is, after 36 years in Washington, D.C., he's become a big government Republican.
He says that he's a conservative. You don't agree with that?
I don't know how you can claim to be a conservative when you voted against doing away with earmarks, when you voted to raise the debt limit 23 times, when you voted and co-sponsored the DREAM Act to reward bad behavior, illegal behavior.
What is your greatest concern about your opponent?
When he talks about the fact that you should not talk to Democrats, should not reach across the aisle, I would say that really won't work. I've been out at the air base here in Fort Wayne this morning. I've pledged there to work very carefully with every Democrat, every Republican on the Armed Services Committee to try to save that base and get progress going there at a time that's very crucial. If I were to take my view that's sort of my way or the highway and say I'm not going to talk to any Democrats, I'm going to wait till we have Republican majorities, or that base is going to be gone.
This has been unusual for you. You're not used to extremely competitive, hard-fought campaigns, and there's been a lot of back and forth. Which of the accusations, which of the charges hurts the most, and do you most want to respond to in this forum?
I think by and large Hoosiers understand what is occurring. They understand the negative advertising. I won't say that I don't worry about criticism. I take it seriously, but not so seriously that I believe that people are going to be persuaded by that kind of nonsense.
Well, you know, Mr. Lugar, instead of defending his record, has been blasting me. He's put out a lot of TV ads saying I don't show up for work 2/3 of the time. When you look at the statistics, if I'm not in a meeting, my staff is 99% of the time. I think that's a pretty gross distortion.
On Monday, we'll wrap up our in-depth interviews with the candidates by talking about turning around the economy and trimming the federal budget deficit.